Let's talk about some resources that may help you in your journey to empowerment. The first few are some books that I've read that I think may help a lot. So the first one is A Woman's Guide to Power Unbound by Kasia Urbaniak. Kasia is a woman who studied to be a monk and also a professional dominatrix. And the combination of those two things results in a book that does a beautiful job of walking women through some practical steps to find empowerment in their lives. The second book is Invisible Women: Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Creado Perez. This book does a wonderful job of illustrating the sort of systemic issues that exist in the world because men objectively run the world. There's one example that she uses in there that the echoes and voice recognition things that we use in our lives are actually programmed in a way that is sexist because they are programmed to recognize men's voices more than women's voices. It is a wild read. So it can just help to arm you with some information and facts about the way that the world is to help you feel more empowered. And the last book is called Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenburg. This one ties in a lot with the communication aspects of the course that we talked about, especially to do with men. Marshall Rosenberg's model for communication, I think, is a pretty effective one and worth a read. Next, I recommended yoga a couple of times throughout the course. And yoga is a tough thing to find nowadays because there's this sort of delicate balance that you have to strike. On one end of the spectrum is like white girl yoga, which is completely removed from anything that like yoga was originally about and is more about the sort of like, being skinny and petite and tiny. And then on the other end of the spectrum, it'll be like a 70-year-old Indian woman that is like deeply entrenched in the religion and culture of like Hinduism and yoga. And it just like, it's like, I don't feel like I even belong here. So I think that Jessica Richberg does a wonderful job of striking a delicate balance of like approachable while still honoring what yoga is ultimately about. That being said, I think that there are a few little like tips and pointers that I can give you as you enter into your yoga practice that may help the yoga be more impactful for you. So the first one is that when you are doing yoga, the most important thing is to focus on the sensations that you feel, the sensation of the stretch. There's this concept in yoga called finding your edge, which is the idea that yoga is actually not about straining yourself. Yoga is about going to the point in the stretch where you feel it and it focuses your mind on that sensation. And then that is where you sit. Don't stretch further than that, you'll hurt yourself, and don't stretch less than that, you won't be getting the benefit of the yoga. The next thing is something called Ujjayi breathing, which is a particular breathing technique that you can do while you are doing yoga that will help to cultivate some of that empowering energy. So essentially what you do is you breathe through your nose and you squeeze in the back of your throat so that your breathing makes noise. So I'll try to demonstrate. And then the Ujjayi breathing is sort of combined with the last thing that I want to say about yoga, which is while you are doing yoga, do your best to only breathe through your nose. This is for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that it is going to help make sure that you are staying aware and focused while you are doing the yoga, because otherwise you will naturally start breathing out through your mouth. The other thing is that it is another way to monitor how far to go in the yoga. If you are going into a stretch and you are having to breathe through your mouth because of how strenuous the yoga is, that means that you should back off a little bit and take it a little bit easier. It's a great way to listen to your body, which again brings us back to this idea of empowerment. And the last thing that I'll say is that no matter how good you are at introspection, it can only take you so far. So for instance, I think that I am very good at introspection, but I still seek out external perspective because I know that everyone has blind spots. So if you are going through this course and you find yourself running into blocks, I would highly recommend seeking out external perspective. Like I said, I am a mental health coach, so if you liked this course and you would like to dive in deeper, feel free to go to ostaracoaching.com and sign up for coaching. And with that, congratulations, you have officially completed A Woman's Guide to Empowerment. Hopefully, at this point, you've started to feel more empowered in your life. And something that I often tell to my clients is that part of my job as a coach is to help set expectations. And in this context, because this is such a large systemic issue and has been present since presumably before you were born, it is going to take time to shed that disempowerment. And so be patient with yourself. Even that is a form of empowerment. You being patient with yourself and allowing you to go at the pace that is right for you is a beautiful way to take up space. If you would like, I would love any feedback that you have to offer about this course. If it was really helpful for you, that's great. If you hated it and thought that it was garbage, I would also love to hear that, because it will help me to learn and grow as a coach and hold me accountable as a coach. So thank you so much for taking this course, and here's to a powerful new you.